Good morning, everybody. My name is Ryan Carpola, and today I will be discussing the SDI Week 8 final project, class FTT 100. I chose to do a video just because it will be easier to explain like this. And today I will actually be talking about my Palmetto State Armory Dagger Micro. It is empty. There's nothing in the chamber. Obviously, the only thing that's here is wall and dirt. So obviously, this is a PSA micro dagger, and I actually have a notepad here of most of the things about the dagger. So they were actually introduced in the year of 2020 at SHOT Show, and they were produced a little after that into early 2021. The action type is actually a striker fired handguns because it is based off of the Glock 43X model. The action type, or not the action type, the trigger type, my bad, is a single action trigger. That means, you just pull the trigger and it's going. The feeding mechanism, quite simple. So you take the magazine, load it up, the tension of the spring assists the rounds to force up, and while the gun is cycling, obviously the barrel does tilt up just like a Glock, so it does also help feed the rounds in, and there is actually a ramp in the barrel that will help angle it in the right way. For them to actually pick up the round, you have your extractor here, so that actually kicks out the rounds, but it also helps pick up the rounds as well. To take apart the firearm, I do have to compress the trigger. Obviously, we've already verified that it is in fact empty, so I will do that now. You have to half cock it. There's just two little tabs on either side that you have to pull down simultaneously. Release. I usually use my thumb to help push it forward, and then with this specific gun, I did find out you kind of have to reprime the trigger, so I pull it forward and it comes off a lot easier. Weird, but it works. That's how you take the lower and the upper apart. So now this is a non-operational firearm, so I'll get rid of the lower and we'll focus on the upper. So you decompress this recoil spring, pop it out, tilt the barrel out just like that, and you slide it out just like that. Yeah, that does that, and we'll go straight to part number 4. So there actually isn't much dirt on my firearm, so we have the empty slide. If I just take my finger, rub it across the actual firing pin, oh, that's actually quite dirty, but factory fired, it's gonna have some dirt. I do always recommend to people, especially in my field of business, to always clean their firearms, especially buying a new firearm. I have not yet to clean this yet, since it is relatively still newer. But the cleaning stuff that I personally use is actually what SDI has actually sent me, which is this very nice Otis kit. Pretty much gives me everything I will ever need. You got your CLPs, your bore brushes, cleaning rods, a lens cleaner for optics, which I really like. I've been using this now for a couple days to about a month now. Well, a couple days to a few weeks. And I have absolutely been loving this, but I will actually take out one of the brushes here, and I will explain how I normally will clean my firearm. So I will actually start with the lower. There's these two little tabs on either side and on the top here, or the middle of the gun, and I will actually scrub those down to actually get rid of the carbon buildup, old oil, all that fun stuff, and then I will actually lube it up with the CLP that was provided for me. And I do that because that specific spot is a lot of friction. And obviously I don't want, gun to have any malfunction, so I do always lubricate the parts that are going to be moving. I do the same with the stripped upper. There's actually internal grooves on either side all the way up along the gun or the slide, and I'll actually go in there, scrub that down, lube those parts up, and I'll actually also go inside and I'll do where the firing pin is at, and I'll also go in where the barrel is at, and I'll, just for kicks, I'll even also go on the inside of the actual end of the barrel where it would go. I'll move to the recoil spring now. The recoil spring doesn't get a lot of dirt, but it can if you don't take care of it. So I do also scrub this down with my brush, and I do also lube it up, because it is going to be one of those parts that are going to be consistently moving while firing the firearm or just doing basic function checks. Then we'll go to the barrel. So the barrel is a little bit more interesting. So with the feed ramp here, I do sometimes lube that up as well, but then I'll get the cleaner that I use, which most times, or before I got sent this Otis kit, is the one-shot product that I sell at my personal job. Pretty good stuff. But I have been slowly going more towards the CLP hops stuff lately, because they can be a little bit better. Instead of doing a one and all kind of deal, I like to get the separate stuff for certain things. But then I will get a barrel brush, which I don't have with me right now, but I can find it real quick, which is something like this once I get it out. But I'll get my bore brush, which is this nice copper brush, and a pull string. Some people do it, some people don't. I'll stick it in. Sometimes if I don't use the pull string and I just use a rod, I'll kind of spin it around a little bit in there. But I'll stick it in there, clean out the internals, pull it out, and then I'll get a fiber optic cloth and jam it in there as well to get all the excess material out as well. To put the gun back together, so I always start with the upper, and we're just going to go in reverse. Tilt the barrel in, make sure it is the right way. The shark fins always have to go on the bottom, because that just doesn't make sense to have the shark fins on the top. Then we get our recoil spring. So there's a fat end and a flat end. And I said that specifically because fat and flat. The flat end goes towards the firing pin. And it's quite easy to do. So there's actually two little tabs, which is those shark fins I was telling you about. Doesn't go in just like that, because that doesn't seem right. You have to decompress it and push it in. So it's a little forward and it has tension. Then we take our lower, line up the grooves so that everything is matching, and do a little function test, and everything seems to be working in order. And I will decompress the trigger real quick to test that my firing pin is still working, which it is. I'm going to leave this open and out of view for right now. And then I did also pull up a schematic, which is on Palmetto State Armory's website, which I will show you right now. So that is the more detailed schematic that is shown. That is more of a complete strip, so it shows the firing pin removal, the whole barrel assembly, the trigger assembly, everything in there, and it is on Palmetto State's website, and it does also list everything that is included as well. But I do hope this suffices. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. My name is Ryan Carpola, and this is my submission for week 8 of the final. Thank you.